if you want to have a conversation with yourself, with your soul, or if you want to tap into your consciousness, visit Ladakh. Even for me, a localite, every year I find a new place. And I'm myself shocked, in awe as well sometimes.
So interesting because you have one mountain to the left, one mountain to the right, and in the middle you have the Indus flowing, right? So the mountain on the right belongs to China now.
River separate kar raha hai. And then there is this one common irritating phenomena that I have always been a victim of, and that is AMS.
जैसे विष्णु जी के अवतार थे राम जी, so वैसे ही Dalai Lama, all the Dalai Lamas that came before the 14th Dalai Lama, the current Dalai Lama, and all the Dalai Lamas to come next will be a manifestation or will be an avatar of Avalokiteshvara. So there was this village, imagine 1947 India got independence. 1949 से लेके 1965-69 around तक, that small village was a part of Pakistan. And a lot of war has been fought over the years after the independence. So बीच में पहले तो वो पाकिस्तान का पार्ट था, फिर धीरे after a while 1960s के बाद वही it became a part of Ladakh. So there was a period of time legit for 8 months that was no man's land. तो एक पूरा विलेज को ऐसे ही छोड़ दिया विद नो सपोर्ट, नो कंट्री की हाँ आप ना आप पाकिस्तान के हो ना आप इंडिया के हो.
एक मैरिज है दो कॉन्सेप्ट्स की, इफ वी टॉक अबाउट लद्दाख एंड बाइकिंग, ठीक है, ये इनसेपरेबल हैं. सो व्हाट इज अ बाइकिंग एक्सपेडिशन इन लद्दाख लाइक, स्पेशली इन अ प्लेस कि जिसके टेरेन्स इतने ज़्यादा चैलेंजिंग है, नेटवर्क का इतना इशू है, तो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज अ बाइकिंग एक्सपेडिशन इन लद्दाख? Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a brand new episode of Scene Kya Hai, Wander On ka Apna Travel Podcast. Summers are here, so I'm very sure that you guys must be making a lot of holiday plans for this season. So this particular episode is here to add a very star destination in your bucket list. So today's episode is for everybody who has a big appetite for adventure. It is also for people whose souls are looking for answers that cannot be found in the hustling, bustling cities and can only be found in a distant land where the mountains meet the skies. वो कहते हैं ना कि सही और गलत के पार एक मैदान है, तो आज उसी मैदान की हम बातें करेंगे. So today's episode is dedicated to the dream destination of everyone and the land of high passes, Ladakh. So in today's episode, I have two very special guests with me. Firstly, Chirag Jain, who is the co-founder of Wander On and the chief operations officer also at Wander On. And I have with me Yontan, who is a very seasoned traveler, and she is an outdoor leader and also now a homestay owner at Ladakh. So guys, Jule ji. So मैंने तो एक इंट्रोडक्शन दे दी है आप लोगों की, but I would really want कि एक बार आप ऑडियंस से खुद से एक बार अपनी जर्नीज और अपने बारे में बताओ. चिराग.
Right. So hello guys, I'm Chirag. I head the operations at Wander On, and due to the nature of my work, I have to travel a lot, which is also the reason I chose this. So I have traveled all across the world and covered different destinations, but Ladakh stands as one of my most favorite and the closest one to my heart in terms of the memories I've created there. I think I first went to Ladakh back in 2017, and somehow I've always tried to find ways to land back in Leh every year and just have explored many locations all around Ladakh and have also seen a lot of changes happening throughout these years. So today I'm going to share my adventures in Leh through this podcast.
Thank you. Yontan.
Hi everybody, my name is Yontan. I'm from Ladakh and I did my master's in travel and tourism management from Jamia Millia Islamia University. And I'm also an outdoor leader. I lead trips, I guide trips, and yes, I'm a big time travel freak, we can say. And in Ladakh, we believe that, if you have a mole under your feet, you are a traveler soul. So I have like two moles under my each feet. So yeah, I think I was born to be a traveler and I love to do that. So yeah, I would call myself a travel freak.
Okay, now I think all the audience who's watching this or who's listening to this, वो सब अपने पैर के नीचे check करने वाले. Good one. So, okay, let's dive into the topic. Okay. So, Chirag, मैंने तो announce किया कि, Ladakh is a dream destination for everyone. Why do you think that Ladakh is a dream destination?
So, Ladakh is not like any other destination. I think at a global level, it's one of the top destinations that you can travel to. Ladakh is everything for everyone. So, in terms of the natural landscape, you have the most out of the world mountains there. Then you have pristine lakes there. Then you have mountain passes. Ladakh is also very rich in culture and history. So, you find monasteries and a lot of other things around that. And a trip to Ladakh is a journey that begins even before you land, because it's not a destination you can cover in 2 or 3 days. It takes at least a week or up to 10 days. So a lot of planning goes into it. You have to consider a lot of factors, because Ladakh, when you're traveling there, it's not a place you will just enjoy, but it also a test of your body's potential, because as soon as you land at a height of 4,000 meters. So the air is very thin, the oxygen level is very low, and sometimes it's very cold also. So these factors, they add to the overall preparation that a person goes through. And then the overall experience, like once you have done it, so it's something that will always leave a lasting impression on you. Because like there's a like travel naturally has an unpredictable nature, but when it comes to Ladakh, the weather is so dramatic there. There are a lot of unpredictable things that can happen, and some challenges that you also have to solve on ground, and you always come back with a very unique experience. So that leaves a lasting impression, and hence I think the build up is there. And as soon as one experiences it, so they are able to feel it and they pass it on to others.
So, but you must know कि कितना इस चीज़ का डिमांड चल रहा है, क्योंकि इससे पहले आई थिंक लद्दाख हैज़ prominently been for inbound tourism, like a lot of foreigners used to come there for biking expeditions and all. So how is the trend changing? What are your observations around it?
So, initially Ladakh was dominated by the inbound tourists, because they have always been thrill seekers, and like it is one of the most adventurous destinations to find in India. But I think with the advent of pop culture and like the influence of movies like Three Idiots, Jab Tak Hai Jaan, so the Indian audience got really exposed to the beauty of Ladakh, and they actually it was something that everyone aspired to go, and people started traveling. And over the years, like the place is so good that when you come back, you tell everyone. When you share pictures, everyone wants to know, is very curious about it. And I think there has been a natural trend of like more and more people are choosing to go there. Earlier, like it was mainly for the younger audience with a knack for adventure who were taking it on. But I think with improved infrastructure in terms of the airport, more connecting flights from different cities around India, and better roads also now. So I think we are actually seeing that. Like from a 2-year-old kid to up to a 70-year-old person are also like frequently we are seeing such kind of travelers also in Ladakh. So that way it has constantly grown in demand, and naturally we have also seen people who visit Ladakh not just once but again and again.
You are one of them.
Yeah.
You are one of them. Every
Yeah,
summer
it
you are
keeps
in
calling
Ladakh.
you back. It's
Yeah.
so vast.
Yeah.
There's like even if I travel if I travel again and again, so it's not like my trips are same. Every time it's a different experience.
So I mean, for somebody who visits Ladakh like annually या एक साल में एक बार या 2 साल में एक बार, उसके लिए अगर ये इतना exciting है, तो I think I would love to move to Yonton, who has like you're born in Ladakh and you've been brought up in Ladakh. So how was your experience like growing up in a place like that? What all changes have you seen? कैसे मतलब like we don't know. It's like it's like a black hole to know कि वहाँ का culture कैसा है एक local perspective से. तो आप बताओ, how was your experience, Yonton?
So if we just talk about cities, यहाँ पे क्या होता है, people are always rushing. But if I talk on my own experience before I left Ladakh, my life was always like, there was a pause in my life. Life में हमेशा एक ठहराव रहता था, like that small pauses that you need, that small gaps. I won't say stops, but like pauses, gaps, like slow-mo. I used to have that kind of lifestyle वहाँ पे. But then things changed quickly. If we say that कि like it takes a lot of time for a place to change, वो transition जो period आता है, it's very long. Like for things to change, I feel like completely change over. But speaking of Ladakh, I'll start with a story.
Okay.
So me being a 90s kid, I still remember कि लद्दाख में जब first time telephone आया था घर पे. In 90s. Imagine that. Like we were so excited. We were like, playing games कि हाँ telephone का number क्या आएगा. Everybody was putting on their guesses कि like एक पूरा event हो गया था घर पे, तो मैंने वो face भी देखा है कि जब first time telephone आया है, like लद्दाख में introduce हुआ है. And then today I'm seeing like we have a lot. हम पूरे ग्लोबलाइज हो चुके हैं. वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ इंटरनेट्स, हाई स्पीड इंटरनेट है वहाँ पे. वी हैव टेलीफोन, सेल फोन्स, एवरीथिंग ओवर देयर. बट देन देयर आर स्टिल सम प्लेसेस इन लद्दाख जहाँ पे लाइक आई वुड से दैट टिल डेट we are talking about 2025 in the 21st century ki we don't have telephones over there. So it's a very contradicting space. And one more thing I remember is like nowadays if we talk about it, like in 2025 रोड्स हार्डली क्लोज. जो श्रीनगर हाईवे है वो साल में लाइक पूरे विंटर्स में लाइक 6 months के विंटर्स में आप बोलो या 1 या 2 बार हार्डली बंद होगा. और वो भी बिकॉज ऑफ द आर्मीज हेल्प. 1-2 दिन मैक्सिमम 1 वीक में वो भी खुल जाता है. बट देन देयर वाज अ टाइम, इमेजिन लाइक इट्स सो क्रेजी दैट देयर वाज अ टाइम लद्दाख में नमक ख़त्म हो गया था. सिंपल अ वेरी बेसिक नीड विच इज़ सॉल्ट, आयोडीन, जो कि बॉडी का बहुत नेसेसिटी वो है, इनटेक है. So I still remember कि ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पे अनाउंस हुआ था लाइक ओपनली सेइंग दैट लद्दाख इज़ रनिंग आउट ऑफ सॉल्ट. एंड अगर किसी शॉपकीपर के पास, किसी जर्नल स्टोर के पास अगर स्टॉक है, इफ़ यू हैव इनफ स्टॉक इवन फॉर द फैमिलीज, क्योंकि तब क्या होता था रोड्स काफ़ी टाइम बंद रहते थे, तो हम विंटर्स के लिए वी यूज्ड टू स्टॉक अप एवरीथिंग. वेजिटेबल्स ड्राई करना, वेजिटेबल्स को इवन लाइक भिंडी, यू लेडी फिंगर, हम वो भी ड्राई समर में ड्राई करके रखते थे. तो उस टाइम पे ये अनाउंस हो रहा था अगर किसी फैमिली के पास भी इफ़ यू हैव इनफ स्टॉक ऑफ सॉल्ट तो आप प्लीज़ हेल्प योर नेबर्स एंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट इट. तो एक वो दिन था कि ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पे अनाउंस हो रहा है कि वी डोंट हैव सॉल्ट एंड रोड्स आर ब्लॉक्ड फॉर द कमिंग 2 months, 3 months, हेल्प आउट योर नेबर्स. एंड एक आज का दिन है कि मतलब रेयरली लाइक पूरे विंटर सीजन में 1 या 2 बार मुश्किल से रोड्स ब्लॉक होते हैं. सो इस ट्रांजिशन में मैंने पूरे लद्दाख को चेंज होते हुए देखा है. फ्रॉम अ वेरी रिमोट प्लेस to now a very, I would say, very developing, very fast changing, very fast developing place, like which is Ladakh. So experiences जैसे बहुत crazy है, stories भी आगे will dive deep into it. Yeah.
But since you're a localite, right? So I'm sure there are a lot of offbeat places also जो शायद mainstream itineraries के अंदर नहीं include होती for whatever reasons. So can you throw some light on the offbeat experiences that people can have in Ladakh?
So as you mentioned, Ladakh is actually limitless. So even for me, a localite, every year I find a new place. Like, and I'm myself like shocked, in awe as well sometimes. कि like मैं यहाँ बचपन से हूँ and I'm still unaware of places like this. So for me also, I'm on my journey of exploring. So within the last few years, I've been to some offbeat places. I'll tell you about that. As Chirag sir mentioned कि हम Nubra Valley जाते हैं. We go to the beautiful sand dunes of Nubra Valley. So people go to Nubra Valley. They see the sand dunes. Of course, it's majestic. It's beautiful there. It's actually breathtaking. But from there, if you take a little turn, detour up Leh, and if you extend just one more day or maybe like few hours, if you can manage the time. So there are places like if you go towards the Sumur side. So there's a very beautiful hot spring. Of course, it's very common. You find hot springs in a lot of other places. But what's special about this hot spring is, so imagine a very beautiful pool in front of you. And in a very cool weather, the water is like very warm to your skin. You're like very comfortable in the water.
Right.
It is medicinal also. And in front of you, there's this mesmerizing view of the raw mountains, of the deserts there. And then you see, thoda sa niche jaake, you see like all the Mahila Mandal, the Women's Alliance over there cooking for you. They have a small stall over there. And then the very interesting part about this hot spring is the mountain in front of you is totally barren, rugged, but literally, I'm saying in the middle of it, there's a patch of green over there, like a small patch of green. And that small patch of green is another, like, we call it the Ensa Monastery. तो वहाँ पे एक बहुत प्यारा सा monastery, Ensa Monastery. So to sit in that hot spring, maybe sip a cup of butter tea, or and be with friends, family, anybody, and to sit there to experience life at this level, and to see all those big mountains, huge mountains, and that patch of green thing, like it gives you a different kind of gratitude towards life.
Wow, I feel
Like,
I
yeah.
feel कि मैं ही वहाँ पे इस
could
टाइम पे
visualize that.
पहुँच चुकी हूँ भाई. You
Yeah.
transported me there through your storytelling, and I think I really need to go this summer
Definitely.
to this place. Yeah, okay,
So
that's very beautiful.
yeah, this is one place, and on way only towards अब जब ये करके आप वापस जब आते हो, so there's one more, like, of course Ladakh is full of mountains, we all know that. So what people mostly, I think 60 to 70% of Ladakhis itself, they don't know कि सबको लग रहा है कि we are going, okay, there's a road, we are going and we are surrounded with mountains. But then on way there's this mountain का एक range, छोटा सा range आता है, and people think it's a normal mountain. कि हाँ ठीक है, यहाँ भी पहाड़ है, this is also a very small mountain. But what people don't know is कि if you go to that mountain, तो थोड़ा तक आगे तक the car can go. And then if you hike, like, I won't say trek, I would say hike for like an hour. And once you're on top of the mountain, and if you see that beyond, there's a very small and very beautiful lake over there. जो I
Okay.
think 80% of the people miss. And even for the tourism जो आते भी है, चाहे वो domestic हो या inbound हो, I think 10% of the people cover that place. And like every time I take people over there, or even I take my friends over there, it's always like कि ये जगह अभी तक कहाँ था. People are like, ये कहाँ था, ये कैसे, like people are always like shocked. उनका like even the localites का भी reaction, ये यहाँ पे है, like how come this is that. So these places are like really offbeat.
इस
And
जगह के हम और डिटेलिंग या नेम ज्यादा रिवील नहीं करेंगे. Let actual
Yes.
travelers find it out, right? हाँ,
So
we'll leave it for that.
yes. So ये जगह है, आप Nubra site को आप, these are some offbeat places. And Ladakh में, for the time being, right now we are 2 districts, Leh district and the Kargil district, but soon we'll be 8 districts, but it's not yet happening. It's
Okay.
still on the process. So speaking strictly from the 2 districts perspective, so people ज़्यादातर Kargil district को उतना explore नहीं करते हैं. So I'll tell this very story in a very brief way. So there was this village, imagine 1947 India got independence. फिर 1949 से लेके 1965-69 around तक, that small village was a part of Pakistan. And then imagine after that this war happened between, क्योंकि border tensions are always there, Indo-Pak, Indo-China, हर जगह पे we have a lot of border tensions. And a lot of war has been fought over the years after the independence. So बीच में पहले तो वो पाकिस्तान का पार्ट था, फिर धीरे आफ्टर वाइल 1960s के बाद वही इट बिकेम अ पार्ट ऑफ लद्दाख, आई मीन इंडिया. तो वैसा था. एंड देन इन बिटवीन फिर से देयर वाज दिस टेंशन बिटवीन द 2 countries, इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान. सो देयर वाज अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, लेजिट लाइक फॉर लाइक 8 months, दैट वाज नो मैंस लैंड. तो एक पूरा विलेज को ऐसे ही छोड़ दिया विद नो सपोर्ट, नो कंट्री, कि हाँ आप ना आप पाकिस्तान के हो ना आप इंडिया के हो. सो दैट इज़ लाइक they were left like that for 8 months. And then finally, after like speaking today, it's a part of India. It's in
Okay.
Kargil district. Abhi famously known as the ghost village, because with time, because that village was situated in such a terrain, geographical terrain, that वहाँ पे पानी की बहुत कमी हो रही थी. So अभी का present situation, if I talk about it, so all the villagers, they have left that position because it was a tension area. वहाँ पे बहुत कुछ, they have suffered a lot, the families over there with time. So they have totally abandoned that village right now. But the architecture is so solid and it's so unique that the architecture still stands still. It's like the whole village is there. You can go. And very interesting thing is कि अगर आप उस वहाँ जाओगे, एक तो आपको on the entrance there will be a museum, of course, with all the artifacts, all the paintings, or we say clothing that they had. And other interesting thing about the architecture is कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल हमारा एक घर होता है, घर के अंदर हमारे 10 कमरे होंगे, 2 कमरे होंगे, 3 कमरे होंगे, तो वी हैव सेपरेट डोर्स फॉर दैट.
Right.
वहाँ पे है इट्स इंटरलॉकिंग. लाइक इफ देयर इज अ हाउस, द हाउस इज 5 rooms, तो लाइक इट्स लाइक एक रूम में आप जाओगे तो वो एक रूम के थ्रू आप पूरे रूम्स में आप घुस सकते हो. इट्स लाइक अ ट्रेन सिस्टम,
Maze.
Okay.
maze
Okay.
kind of thing.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
हाँ.
Because एक तो I told you the geographical terrain is very hard, तो उन्होंने ऐसे घर बनाया है कि लाइक थोड़ा अच्छे से प्रिजर्व कर सके खुद को ठंड में.
Okay.
So that is one very offbeat place that I love that place. Like it's an experience to go there, even for a Ladakhi. Okay, being very honest. First time I was there, I was like, ye kya hai? What is this? I went crazy actually. So very good experience. So these are some offbeat places that people can travel to and maybe yet to be discovered. We can say like on a major scale.
Right.
So these small places you can travel to, and one small place is वही आप already mentioned कर चुके हो तुर्तुक village. उसका भी similar story. It was a part of Pakistan, and then we came to Ladakh. And speaking of Ladakh, we have like we are a tribal place. We are now recently UT. So we have 8 different tribes, and one of the tribe is the Balti tribe, which you'll see in Turtuk village. The Balti culture.
Right.
Balti as in the Baltistan का जो effect आया है with time, the people, their face structure for that matter, and their music, the way they see things, outlook towards life, their general lifestyle. It's very different and very colorful, very very colorful. The headgears they wear, it's beautiful.
I've seen some pictures of the locals of Turtuk, and I think very pretty eyes and very beautiful headgears and everything, right? Chirag, you were telling a story about Turtuk, no? What was that?
I think continuing on what Yonten is telling. So there's another village nearby to Turtuk. So this village is called Tyakshi village.
Okay.
So although people are commonly going to Turtuk, but Tyakshi is something everyone is missing. So it's actually much closer to the current border of POK.
Okay.
And it's a village located at a cliff side, and you actually get to see the bunkers of Pakistan army
Okay.
on the mountain right in front.
Okay.
And so this village again, it belongs to that Aryan tribe of people. So you find that different genetics and because less tourists are going there, so you find people still in their very natural kind of lifestyle and living and habitat over there. So this village even has one school that was built by the Pakistani army.
Okay.
Sorry, the Pakistani government.
Okay.
So it's one of the very unique places you find all across Ladakh. There's mix of culture also at every step. Another I think there is another story. So there's this village called Demchok.
Okay.
So this place is actually so interesting because you have one mountain to the left, one mountain to the right, and in the middle you have the Indus flowing
Okay.
at the very beginning of its origination. So the interesting part is the Indus River actually acts as the land border between India and the Chinese army.
Okay.
Right. So the mountain on the right belongs to China now.
River separate कर रहा है.
हाँ, river separate. So you can drive by the river, and
हाँ.
you can spot the Chinese army on the other
Okay,
side. You
okay.
have their bunkers and everything. So the story of this place is that this area used to belong to India originally, but again during the war of 1962, China attacked on this area and they took over this region, which is now known as Aksai Chin.
Okay.
Right. So this place has there is a village called Demchok, and like I told you about Umlingla Pass. So originally Umlingla Pass was built, not to achieve any feat, but to connect this village.
अच्छा.
So this is the northernmost tip of India now.
Okay.
And so you find that like in a lot of people, what they do, they go to Umlingla and they come back to Hanle. But if you cross Umlingla Pass, you will land at Demchok village, and you will find like Ladakh in its rawest form. So you have a hot spring there, you have a small village there. This village has an interesting story that on the other side of the border you find the old Demchok. So that was originally the Demchok village, but when China attacked, people they evacuated to this side, and now they are established there. But when that was happening, some people got left behind. So you have the people of Demchok, they actually have their relatives as close as their mothers, and like there's also a story of a guy whose wife got left behind in the other side, and even though they can see each other because it's right across the river, but there is no way to connect with them now because they can't just swim across. It's an international border now. If they need to go, they need a Chinese passport. They need to travel to some airport, fly down to China, and then travel across all the
Okay.
way to that village.
Okay.
But technically it's just 1 kilometer across the river.
हाँ.
Right. So when this happened back in 1962, you did not even have phones there. Right. So for so many years, people have been completely disconnected. Just recently, when the whole social media became popular, now people are actually trying to locate their relatives on the other side through these channels, and now they are getting to reconnect now after so many years. So you find a lot of such stories, all across the border villages of Ladakh.
Very interesting, very interesting. तो फिर उस बंदे की बीवी वहीं रहेगी उस साइड. क्या स्टोरी है उनकी?
हाँ, मतलब like I met this guy, so I thought like
You met
काफी,
this guy?
Yeah, I was at that village
Acha.
and I was just talking to the locals there because of course that's how you get to know the stories of real people. So he told me like he like at one night suddenly like there was an attack. He was here because of some work in this part of India, so he got stranded there itself. And suddenly for 2 days, there were a lot of firing from both sides. The civilians were completely, hiding in their homes for their safety. And after 2 days, they got to know that now
This is it.
It's two different countries now. It's not the same village anymore. So that's how he got stranded and his family got left behind. So I thought, maybe it would be like a Veer Zara kind of a story. काफी इंस्पायरिंग कुछ मिलेगा, बट आई गॉट टू नो कि दैट गाय रीमैरिड आफ्टर 2 years. 2 साल उसने वेट किया, फिर कुछ नहीं दिखा, तो ही स्टार्टेड अ न्यू लाइफ नाउ.
Move on.
Move on.
Move on. So okay, Chirag, I think एक बहुत ही जिसे बोलते हैं ना कि एक मैरिज है दो कॉन्सेप्ट्स की. इफ वी टॉक अबाउट लद्दाख एंड बाइकिंग, ठीक है, ये इनसेपरेबल है. सो व्हाट इज a biking expedition in Ladakh like, especially in a place कि जिसके terrains इतने ज़्यादा challenging है, network का इतना issue है, तो what exactly is a biking expedition in Ladakh? क्या होता है वहाँ पे, क्या experience होता है, थोड़ा बताओ इसके बारे में please.
So I think that's very true. Ladakh and biking, they go hand in hand. I think anyone who's passionate about bikes, almost you will find that they have Ladakh, traveling to Ladakh as a bucket list item for them. So I think I have over these years I have traveled through bikes. I have traveled in gypsy. I have traveled in other forms of vehicles also. But I think out of all, I think the most enjoyable ones was the biking experience in Ladakh, because there's beauty at every step. So when you're in a car, when you're in other modes of transport, you will miss out something. But when you're on a bike, you get to experience it up close. You don't miss any of the views. So I think that that is one of the reasons. Another one is it's very exciting, like the constant change in terrains, the challenging roads. Ladakh is one of the most challenging roads because you have to ride along the cliffs with a drop of as much as 10,000 feet also at some places, and to ride along beautiful lakes, to climb up mountains. I think it's an paradise for any biker, right? But I think at the same time, biking comes with a lot of challenges because generally, on a daily basis, for in any Ladakh itinerary, you have to ride for about 200 kilometers. And this is 200 kilometers of mountain roads with harsh weather. Like possibly, you might even encounter a snowfall or a dash of rain, during your journeys. So it comes with its own challenges, but I think that's
Water
what
streams
makes it even more special because, to conquer that, to ride through that challenge, and to like when you end the day and you recollect all the views and all the feeling that you were feeling, and you pushed yourself to do it. So I think that gives you a lot of satisfaction, a lot of beautiful memories along the way. So of course, for any biker, Ladakh is an experience to have once in a while. But like I think when we see from the social media perspective, I think we just see the good part and the best parts of it,
Right.
all the glamorous things. But there's a lot of actual challenges on the ground when you face that you face when you're traveling. So as much as the roads are beautiful, the journey is beautiful, I think it's also very risky at times, and one needs to be a little careful in their journey. And I think if a set of rules are followed properly, I think anyone can get through it. So if I talk about the community trips, so we generally ride with a group of 10 to 15 bikes together, and like I've observed, there are bad patches and there are very good patches of road, but most accidents, are happening when the road is flat and clear. So like suddenly, you are riding for 100 kilometers, you find bad road, you are riding slowly, and then you come
वहाँ पे आप ज्यादा
across,
कॉन्शियस होते हो.
you're fully conscious, you're looking at stones and everything.
स्पीड भी स्लो है.
हाँ, स्पीड बढ़ ही नहीं सकती है.
हाँ.
फिर आप आते हो एक जगह जहाँ पे यू सी अ फ्लैट पैच. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मूरे प्लेन्स इज अ प्लेस जहाँ थोड़ा रहता है. वी वार्न पीपल बिफोर एंटरिंग मूरे प्लेन्स. सो सडनली दे सी अ पैच ऑफ लैंड, 4 लेन है ना, पूरी वाइड रोड्स हैं, सीधा दिख रहा है, आपको दिख भी रहा है कि वहां जाना है. तो पीपल स्टार्ट पुशिंग देयर लिमिट्स, एंड बाय दैट टाइम पीपल आर आल्सो फीलिंग कॉन्फिडेंट. कभी कभी ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस हो जाता है, एंड आई थिंक वहीं थोड़ा सा वो सावधानी हटी, दुर्घटना घटी चीज वहीं होती है.
आपकी भी हटी थी.
I think it comes from my experience as well. When I went to Ladakh, so on the 8th day we were traveling through Murray Plains, and suddenly वो एक अच्छा patch आया, तो बस हमने कहा कि चेक करते हैं बाइक की क्या लिमिट है. And we were going properly, and suddenly in these, like you should not forget these are mountain roads. तो ये फ्लैट नहीं होते, कई बार इनमें बम्प्स और ऐसे चीजें भी आती है. एंड आई एक्चुअली हिट अ बम्प एंड माय बाइक वेंट इनटू द एयर, एंड आई वाज लाइक फ्लाइंग ऑफ द बाइक एट 80 kmph. और बट like if you properly follow the safety guidelines, so whenever we are riding through Ladakh, we give people gears and we recommend riding jackets and all those things. We wearing proper helmets and everything. So luckily I was equipped with everything. It was a bad fall, but all the impact was taken up by those gears, and luckily I came out of it without any proper injury or something. There were like small scratches which
that kind of like
which I got
puts
out.
into perspective कि biking expeditions के अंदर safety factor कितना ज़्यादा important है.
बहुत ज़्यादा. Like when we started, I think we were experiencing this almost on every other trip. People were getting hit. Sorry, not getting hit, but people were falling, getting into accidents. So after that, we changed how we are operating these. So now on any trip, we try to ride in a convoy. So there will be one person leading the group as the lead rider. There's also another person at the tail who is the sweep rider. So no one is supposed to go ahead of the lead, and no one is supposed to fall behind the sweep. So you ride in that convoy pattern, and this way, the lead knows where to warn people, where he can allow the people to rush a bit, where he needs to
Basically the lead is in the
help
control
navigate.
of
Yes.
the whole movement of the convoy, right?
Yeah.
Speed को भी कैसे करना है. हाँ.
So it goes like a chain reaction. The leader accelerates, everyone gets to accelerate. The leader breaks down, everyone slows down. Someone is left behind. The person you will notice that the person at your back is not visible. So you slow down and the lead gets the message. So it's a very interesting thing, and
Wow.
I think the whole feeling of riding in those convoys is another experience from Ladakh. It just feels like you're part of a contingent. And the sense of brotherhood that you develop with the people. So it's another experience that you can only have in Ladakh. The sight of those headlights in the rear view mirror. So
I absolutely get what you're saying. जबकि मैंने तो बाइक चलाई भी नहीं है लद्दाख के अंदर, but I have taken a pillion experience in Ladakh. So जब मैं गई थी तो मैं तो pillion बाइक पे, और तब मैं मतलब I was hesitant कि I don't want to ride like pillion reason on a bike, क्योंकि मेरे को था कि यार मेरा बैक एक हो जाएगा, इतने लंबे रूट्स हैं, ये है वो है. But once I got onto it, और जब मैंने एक दिन की वो राइड ली ना, उसके बाद तो मैं उतरी नहीं. मैंने कहा मैं पूरे 8 दिन 10 दिन जितने दिन लगाना है, आई विल बी ऑन द मोटर बाइक. मेरे को सब ऐसे ही देखना है. एंड देन लाइक आई डो नॉट नो हाउ इम्पॉर्टेंट माई कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन वॉज, बट व्हेन एवरी पर्सन, like when the lead gives a signal,
biking signals.
so the biking signals are passed. So to be a part of the whole convoy, I also used to pass the signals and everything. So it kind of just creates a good communication. क्योंकि चलो जब आप टेम्पो में होते हो, आप कार में होते हो, you can speak to the people around you. बाइक पे जब होते हो तो then you're not able to communicate with your fellow travelers. But through all of this, like there is a language even while you are traveling that way. So I feel that I think it's a beautiful experience.
I think the pillions, they have the best seats, because the rider, he has to really concentrate on the roads, but the pillion, they don't miss anything.
Stories बनाते चलो, video निकालते चलो, मजा आ जाता
And
है.
you also get into a zen mode because
Oh, yes,
you're all
yes,
by
yes.
yourself going through those views and everything. So I think as it's an equally enjoyable experience for the pillion as for the rider.
Absolutely, first hand experience दे रही हो, proof दे रही हो, बिल्कुल है. But यार, like not everybody is comfortable on a bike, या हर बंदा तो bike ride नहीं करता. So उनके लिए क्या options होते हैं?
So of course, biking has its perks, but biking also has a lot of challenges because like Ladakh has very dusty roads. Weather, it can change anytime, so you will have a snowstorm also, or maybe a bad patch of rain. So I think alternatively you
Even
also
water
have
crossings, they are so
Yeah.
challenging.
Correct. So I think for people who do not want to opt for biking, they can always choose the vehicles that are available there. You have all the SUVs like Innovas and everything. Then you also have that minivans like the Force Traveler. So you can book your seat in one of those vehicles and you can get to equally experience the beauty of Ladakh. With a slightly more comfort.
इसमें बल्कि ये भी है कि लोग अगर स्टॉप्स लेना चाहते हैं तो दैट इज ईजियर. कहाँ पूरे कॉन्वॉय को एक साथ में रोकना एंड टू ऑपरेट दैट वे, तो दैट बिकम्स अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ अ चैलेंज. बट अगर आप अपने कार में हो या अपने ऐसे व्हीकल में हो, सो यू कैन स्टॉप एट प्लेसेस एंड लाइक हैव योर ब्रेक्स अकॉर्डिंगली.
Correct. Ladakh is a place you will want to stop at
Every moment,
every 10
every
kilometer.
moment.
There's a new view, a new valley opens up every now and then. So photo stops are a common thing, and you get that flexibility if you have your private vehicle. So
Right. Interesting. So, एक और, so I'll tell you a little story of mine कि मैं ऐसे high altitude mountains में गई हूँ. Spiti गई हूँ, Ladakh. Spiti I've been a couple of times. Ladakh I've been once. And then there is this one common irritating phenomena that I've always been a victim of, and that is AMS. ठीक है?
True.
So, अब हम बहुत बात करते हैं AMS. तो यॉन्टन, चलो आप बताओ कि what exactly is AMS, क्या होता है, बताओ. मैंने तो एक्सपीरियंस किया है, तो आप बताओ.
Okay, coming to AMS, first of all, we'll start with the full form. AMS means acute mountain sickness. It's basically कि your body is not able to cope up. It's simple as that. जैसे आप दिल्ली में हो, you have born and brought up over here, so your body is used to it. आपके रोज़ का जो lifestyle है, उस हिसाब से your body is very much flexible and very much accommodated with the given temperature, given altitude, given water, and for that matter. And AMS is basically कि if we look technically कि according to the Indian Mountaineering Foundation, ऐसा बोला जाता है कि in one day you can only ascend to 1,000 feet. But traveling to Ladakh is like, I think in one day you are like ascending like many thousands of feet in just one day. So it's basically कि आपका body accommodate नहीं कर पा रहा है आपके outside surroundings को. आपके air pressure को accommodate नहीं कर पा रहा है. You're not adapted to it. You're not adapted to the water because the water is a little bit hard over there. And उसकी वजह से you have basic symptoms. आपको उसके AMS के अलग अलग levels आते हैं. The first level is the AMS, that is simple as that, acute mountain sickness. उसमें आपका आएगा कि if your body is not properly acclimatized, so आपके 2-3 symptoms आएंगे. You'll have headache. अब headache में भी there's a specific spot कि आपको जैसे for example migraine का एक specific जगह पे होता है कि okay यहाँ हो रहा तो migraine है, यहाँ हो रहा तो stress है. So if it's at the back of your head, यहाँ पे shoulder के around, so that's one of the symptoms of AMS.
Okay.
And there are few more symptoms कि आपको simple basic चीज़ है कि आपका appetite is bound to change. No matter you're a gym freak, no matter you're very healthy, no matter you're not healthy as per the terrain, doesn't matter कि आपका altitude change हुआ है, so your appetite is going to change. So sometimes वो reaction कर देता है. So what happens to the body is कि आप एक अचानक से एक दिन में आपने इतना altitude gain कर लिया, and then you have the food which is not your usual taste, क्योंकि acquired taste होता है लद्दाखी cuisines. तो वो कर लिया अचानक से आप बिकॉज पहाड़ों पे जाओगे इट्स ऑलरेडी लिटिल बिट कूल ब्रीजी, सो यू डोंट टेंड टू ड्रिंक वाटर अ लॉट. तो उन चीज़ों से आपका बिल्डअप हो जाता है धीरे धीरे जो AMS के सिम्टम्स होते हैं. सो उस चीज़ से आपको फिर एपिटाइट लूज हो जाएगा, एंड अगर आपके बॉडी में खाना नहीं जा रहा है, सिंपल एज दैट, आपको एनर्जी नहीं आएगा, एंड एट दैट ऑल्टीट्यूड, गिवन ऑल्टीट्यूड, इज गोइंग टू बी मोर टफर ऑन योर बॉडी. सो दीज आर बेसिक सिम्टम्स एंड नथिंग टू वरी अबाउट. बहुत सिंपल चीज़ें हैं, मतलब टू कोप अप विथ AMS. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट चिराग सर ने बोला है कि वेन एवर यूर इन लद्दाख और स्पीति और एनी वेयर विच इज़ लाइक अ हाई ऑल्टीट्यूड प्लेस, यू नीड टाइम टू एक्लेमेटाइज. अगर आपको उस जगह को, इफ़ यू वांट टू एक्सपीरियंस अ सर्टन प्लेस, स्पेसिफिकली नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट लद्दाख, इफ़ यू रियली वांट टू एक्सपीरियंस लद्दाख टू इट्स fullest, first day you need complete rest. You come from the airport, or you come by anywhere. So आप कहीं से भी आओ, you reach Leh, and then you rest for the whole day. आप body को पूरा अच्छे से rest दो, then it will help you acclimatize a bit. And then the second thing is make sure you hydrate yourself a lot. क्योंकि ऑफ कोर्स हम भी, इवन बीइंग अ लोकलाइट ऑल्सो, विंटर्स में तो पानी ना के बराबर ही पीते हैं, मुश्किल से दिन में 1 लीटर पीते होंगे, बट दिस इज़ वेरी हार्मफुल इवन फॉर अ लोकलाइट ऑल्सो. सो यू नीड एटलीस्ट 3 लीटर्स ऑफ वाटर, सॉरी. एंड अब लोगों को थोड़ा ये मिसकंसेप्शन हो जाता है, ठीक है, बहुत फनी सा चीज़ है कि लाइक इफ़ आई टेल अ पर्सन कि ये सर आपको, मैम, हुएवर, कि आपको 3 लीटर पानी पीना है, तो कटक कटक घट जाते हो, लगे दे जस्ट स्टार्ट ड्रिंकिंग आप कि हाँ आप सारा कोटा अभी 1 घंटे में मैं 3 लीटर पानी पीऊँगा. सो इट डजंट वर्क दैट वे, ओके. एंड इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी दैट कि आप वाटरमेलन खाओ आप लोग, उससे आपका थोड़ा इंटेक हो जाएगा. आप दाल वगैरह कंज्यूम करो, एंड इट्स गुड फॉर हेल्थ ऑल्सो. प्रोटीन बहुत ज़्यादा है उसमें, आप दाल के थ्रू थोड़ा उसका भी इंटेक, पानी उसमें आ जाएगा, हाइड्रेशन लेवल. एंड अदर थिंग्स आर लाइक एवरीबडी इज़ फॉन्ड ऑफ चाय. पहाड़ों की चाय की, यू नो द फील्स, हाउ द पहाड़ों वाला चाय टेस्ट लाइक, राइट. सो आप चाय कंज्यूम कर सकते हो, कॉफ़ी भी ले सकते हो, बट वी रिकमेंड कि ट्राई टू एटलीस्ट फॉर द फर्स्ट 2 days कैफीन आप बॉडी में कम रखो, यू नो. सो ये सब चीज़ें बेसिक चीज़ें हैं. एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज़ कि फर्स्ट डे हो या सेकेंड डे हो, until unless you are like fully acclimatized, लोग, you need good layering. अब समर में वी आर नॉट सजेस्टिंग कि आप बिल्कुल 50 डिग्री का, -50 का जैकेट पर, नॉट नथिंग लाइक दैट, बट ऐसा भी नहीं है कि जस्ट बिकॉज इट्स रियली हॉट ओवर देयर सो यू जस्ट स्टार्ट मूविंग अराउंड इन 1 टी-शर्ट. एटलीस्ट फॉर द फर्स्ट 2 days यू वेयर लाइक मे बी एक टी-शर्ट आप पहन लो, उसके बाद एक हल्का सा हुडी पहन लो, स्वेट शर्ट पहन लो, मे बी विंड प्रूफ जैकेट जैसा कुछ, सो पहले फ्यू डेज यू नीड टू एक्लेमेटाइज. लेयरिंग अच्छे से करो, खाना अच्छे से खाओ. डाइट अगर नहीं भी हो रहा है, आपको खाने का बिल्कुल भी नहीं मन कर रहा है, तो मेक श्योर एटलीस्ट 2 रोटी आप एक बोल ऑफ दाल के साथ आप खाओ. यू नीड फॉर योर सेल्फ फॉर दैट. सो फिर दिस इज़ लाइक द फर्स्ट इनिशियल स्टेजेस ऑफ AMS, जिसको हम, इट्स वेरी क्योरेबल. वही सिम्टम्स आप, आई टोल्ड यू, हेडेक, नॉजिया, लॉस ऑफ एपिटाइट एंड एवरीथिंग. फिर आप AMS के, फिर देयर आर डिफरेंट लेवल्स. एक होता है हेप होता है, फिर उसके बाद आता है हेज. तो ये वाले सिचुएशंस जब किसी को AMS होता है फर्स्ट स्टेज में, इट्स वेरी फाइन, वेरी कॉमन, लाइक नथिंग टू वरी अबाउट. क्योंकि लोग थोड़ा ऐसे सुन के साइकोलॉजी भी डर जाते हैं कि अरे अब तो ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. Nothing to worry about. It's very basic. Everybody goes through it. Even as Ladakhis, locals also, whenever we come from like Delhi या कहीं से भी आते हैं, तो we recommend even for the locals कि पहले दिन हम भी usually rest ही लेते हैं. Even अगर मैं भी, if I go back to Ladakh, I just don't start going out anywhere. The first day I make sure कि ठीक है, I'm in my house only. I'm just like a leisure time. रेस्ट ले रहे हैं, सो इट्स लाइक दैट, नो नीड टू वरी अबाउट इट. बट इन सेकेंड थर्ड स्टेज जब AMS का आता है, सो इट गेट्स अ लिटिल बिट सीरियस, क्योंकि उसमें आपका हो जाता है हेप, और हेस में क्या होता है, यू हैव आपका विजन में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम आएगा, यू विल स्टार्ट सीइंग थिंग्स लिटिल ब्लरी. तो आपके चेस्ट में पानी वगैरह भर जाता है. दिस इज लाइक एक्सट्रीम केस में बता रहा हूँ, लाइक वेरी एक्सट्रीम केस विच इज़ लाइक वेरी रेयर ऑल्सो, लाइक इट्स वेरी रेयर दैट दीज सिम्टम्स अकर एंड दीज थिंग्स हैपन. सो उस चीज़ में आपके चेस्ट में पानी भर जाएगा, यू वोंट बी एबल टू ब्रीथ प्रॉपरली, यू वोंट बी एबल टू सी प्रॉपरली. आपको फिर हेलुसिनेट होने लगेगा कुछ चीज़ें, बिकॉज योर माइंड इज नॉट फंक्शनिंग वेल, बिकॉज योर माइंड, योर बॉडी इज नॉट कोपिंग अप विद द गिवन सराउंडिंग्स. एग्जैक्टली, कोऑर्डिनेशन बिल्कुल नहीं है. सो उस चीज़ में फिर थोड़ा एक्सट्रीम केस हो जाता है. तो उस चीज़ में भी रिकमेंड कि आपका ऑल्टीट्यूड नीचे करना है. इफ़ यू आर इन लाइक पैंगोंग लेक विच इज़ अराउंड 14,000 feet, अगर वहाँ पे आपको, अगर ये एक्सट्रीम सिचुएशंस हो रहा है, तो विदाउट एनी क्वेश्चन वी टेक द मेडिकल हेल्प. ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर हम हर ट्रिप में यूज़ करते हैं, ऑक्सीमीटर वगैरह. तो मेडिकल वाइज तो वी आर ऑलवेज फुली इक्विप्ड, फुली गियर्ड, वी हैव मेडिकल बॉक्सेस एंड एवरीथिंग. सो आप उनको ऑक्सीजन प्रोवाइड करो एंड देन जस्ट डिसेंड. उसी वक्त आप निकालो, एक लोअर ऑल्टीट्यूड पे लेके जाओ, एंड देन हॉस्पिटलाइज करो, थोड़ा दिन उनको अच्छे से एक्लेमेटाइज होने दो, एंड देन यू आर फाइन. Other precaution that I want to add is like it's very important to know a person's medical history. स्पेशली इफ somebody is having, किसी को अगर डायबिटीज़ है, किसी का बीपी का प्रेशर चल रहा है, या फिर किसी को एस्थमा है, स्पेशली ये 3 चीज़ें आई वुड रिकमेंड टू ऑल द ट्रैवलर्स टू who's traveling to high altitude places, कि आप पहले ही अपने रिस्पेक्टिव जो आपका ट्रिप प्लान कर रहा है, ऑर्गेनाइजर्स या कम्युनिटी को आप पहले से इन्फॉर्म कर दो कि आई एम अ बीपी पेशेंट, आई हैव ब्लड प्रेशर इश्यूज है मेरे को, एंड मेरे को एस्थमा इश्यूज. आई थिंक इट विल हेल्प us as a travel fraternity to make the trip much more smoother for all the people who are traveling with us. तो ये एक मैं recommendation देना चाहूँगी कि like everybody who's traveling, please आप अपना थोड़ा सा basic medical history आप बताओ अपने जिसके साथ भी जा रहे हो. So if you know about it, you have already prepared for it. कि आपको पता है कि ठीक है, because sometimes क्या हो जाता है कि एक person को मतलब प्रॉपर AMS नहीं हुआ होता है कि वो एक्लेमेटाइज कर रहा था, तो शॉर्टनेस ऑफ ब्रीदिंग इज वेरी कॉमन. वो AMS का सिम्टम्स भी नहीं है, वो जनरल सिम्टम है कि भाई आप लद्दाख आ रहे हो और आपको थोड़ा ब्रीदिंग इश्यूज होगा, सिंपल बात है, क्योंकि मॉलिक्यूल स्कैटर्ड है वहाँ पे. सो उस सीन्स में क्या होता है कि इफ़ वी नो अबाउट अ पेशेंट कि हाँ ठीक है आपको ऑलरेडी एस्थमा प्रॉब्लम है, तो और उसको ब्रीदिंग इश्यूज होता है, वो डर जाता है बहुत ज़्यादा. दे आर लाइक सीरियसली स्केयर्ड कि ओ माय गॉड नाउ व्हाट नाउ. फिर द पैनिक क्रिएट्स एंड देन द पैनिक कैरीज फॉरवर्ड. एक दिन का पैनिक फिर किसी और के फिर इट बिकम्स लाइक अ chaos हो जाता है पूरा.
प्लेसिबो भी हो जाता है कई बार.
Exactly, a placebo effect. वो chaotic हो जाता है. So if a person is leading your trip, or the company is well informed about your history, especially about these things, so we'll know that कि हाँ ma'am, you are already you have asthma, so it's nothing to worry about. And she'll also feel much more eased कि हाँ ठीक है, you know about my history, so you will be well equipped, well prepared for all this stuff. So ये सब चीज़ें, वैसे डरने वाली कोई बात नहीं है. वही आप 3 चीज़ें करो. यू हैव गुड वाटर, खाना अच्छे से खाओ आप लोग, एंड अच्छे से लेयरिंग करो. इट वर्क्स मैजिक. जल ही जीवन है. लाइक सो लद्दाख में दिस वेरी फेमस थिंग आई कीप ऑन टेलिंग एवरीबडी कि जल ही जीवन है. आप पानी पियो, आप ठीक रहोगे, एंड रेस्ट करो. सो या
Is there like some kind of like a local remedy that you would recommend?
Yes, definitely. So one thing is garlic. It really helps. It's an antioxidant. तो उसमें क्या होता है, सो AMS में यूजुअली बहुत सारे चीज़ें होती है. क्या होता है कि लाइक बॉडी एक तो कोप अप नहीं कर पा रहा है, अगर हाइपोथर्मिया वगैरह का चांस हो रहा है तो आपका बॉडी प्रेशर झेल नहीं पा रहा है, लाइक ठंडा गर्म हो रहा है. सो उस चीज़ में क्या हो रहा है कि मतलब योर बॉडी इज़ नॉट गेटिंग सफिशेंट ब्लड सर्कुलेशन. आपका बॉडी ठंडा हो रहा है, आपके बॉडी में सर्कुलेशन नहीं होता, इसलिए ये सारे प्रॉब्लम्स होता है. ऑल दोस AMS, हिप एंड हेज. सो सीन्स में व्हाट वी डू इज़ वी जनरली गिव गार्लिक, या फिर आप गार्लिक सूप पी लो, या फिर आप गार्लिक वाटर, गार्लिक को थोड़ा मैश करो, उसमें गर्म पानी डाल के कीप ऑन सिपिंग द गार्लिक वाटर. और मे बी जस्ट अगर एक्सट्रीम केस हो रहा है, एंड इट्स वेरी हेल्दी ऑल्सो, लाइक वेरी हेल्दी. आप सुबह उठो, chew गार्लिक, बट मेक श्योर आप ब्रश करो उसके बाद. कैरी अ लाइक रियली गुड फ्लेवर्ड च्युइंग गम विद दैट, बिकॉज ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग लाइक थोड़ा स्मेल आता है.
Garlic breath.
Yeah, garlic breath. And also like it's very sour, like very sour. So yeah,
Pungent थोड़ा.
Yes, exactly. So best local remedy is कि आप लोग garlic. If you are actually like not feeling that uneasy feel हो रहा है, तो आप garlic consume कर सकते हो. It's very good, like best remedy.
To add to that, I think breathing exercises also help.
Exactly.
क्योंकि ultimately your body needs to like get proper dose of oxygen. तो deep breathing करने से avoiding physical activities like climbing stairs or running around, वो सब चीजें avoid करना है.
यही मैंने ये जो सब तुमने बताया ना, इसी का मैंने ऑपोजिट किया था. जब मैं पहले दिन ले पहुंची थी तो मैं इतने जोश में कि मैंने यार इतना बढ़िया फील हो रहा है, इतना बढ़िया वेदर है, एकदम पतली सी टी-शर्ट के अंदर, और मैं पूरे ले सिटी में निकल गई कंटेंट बनाने के लिए कि मैं पूरे कैफेज, द बेस्ट कैफेज टू एक्सप्लोर इन ले, एंड आई वाज ट्रैवलिंग द एंटायर डे बाय फुट. ठीक है, पैदल कहीं पे किसी गली में मैं मटन समोसा ट्राई कर रही हूँ, हाय गाइस प्लीज ट्राई, ये वो करके, फिर किसी कैफे के अंदर पिज्जा एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. एंड बाय on that day I was absolutely fine.
Right.
The next day I do not know, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि मैं ख़त्म हो गई हूँ, मैं उठूंगी ही नहीं. बस उसके बाद तो फिर मैंने लिटरली अपना लद्दाख का वो जो बैच मैंने ज्वाइन किया था वो छोड़ा. मैंने जाजू भाई को अपने वहाँ पे उनको कॉल किया. मैंने कहा कि मेरी प्लीज़ चंडीगढ़ की फ़्लाइट करा दो, मेरे को वापस जाना है,
Evacuate करो
मुझे इवैक्यूएट करो. तो जाजू भाई मेरे को उन्होंने समझाया कि नैन्सी इतनी दूर से आई हो, तुम 2-3 दिन रेस्ट करो, आराम करो, यू विल बी ओके. एंड ऐसे मतलब ले पे आके वापस कैसे जा रही है यार. तो 2-3 दिन अपनी बॉडी को एक्लिमेटाइज करने का टाइम दे. एंड वो 2-3 दिन के अंदर थोड़ा नॉर्मलाइज हुआ. बीच में मेरा हॉस्पिटल का चक्कर भी लगा, मेरा ड्रिप भी चढ़ी. बट आई थिंक वॉट एवर हैपेंड, इट वॉज अ लेसन, अ वेरी हार्ड लेसन. बट या आफ्टर दैट आई वॉज गुड इनफ. तो समझ आ गया कि यू नीड टू अलाउ योर बॉडी, चाहे खुद कितना भी एक्साइटमेंट हो एक नई जगह का या जो भी हो, बट अपने आप को थोड़ा सा पेस अप करने का टाइम देना चाहिए अपनी बॉडी को. यूर इन अ न्यू प्लेस, एब्सोल्युटली न्यू प्लेस.
I
Exactly. And
remember like Nancy ma'am, you were like जूते उतार के socks उतार के river में going inside the Indus River. I remember that. We were like shooting content.
please,
Instagram पे अभी भी वो reel है, like you know it's still there. She's like full on जूते उठा के like you know having the time of her life. Yeah.
exactly वही सब चीजें जो नहीं करनी
नहीं करनी चाहिए थी.
Actually, the thing is, you just need to hold your horses for the first 2 days.
Exactly.
Initial days are most important. पहले दिन बिल्कुल कुछ मत करो. And after the third day, you will naturally start feeling more comfortable with the whole conditions, है ना? And another thing is suggested, I think, before, like on the day you're beginning your trip, you can start taking a dose of Diamox. So Diamox is a medicine which is easily available, and it helps you in the process of acclimatization.
Okay.
Right? So you can start with that dose, like half a Diamox in the morning, half after dinner, for the initial days till the time you're feeling comfortable.
Okay. I think these are very practical tips that
Right.
that have reached
AMS
to
is
the
not
audience.
something which should hold you back. It's something that can be very easily managed. But you shouldn't take it for granted. है ना? Just
और
follow the
panic भी
basic.
नहीं होना है.
Exactly.
Panic भी नहीं करना है.
Exactly. So whenever we are traveling, it's recommended to travel with an oximeter. It helps you in diagnosing the condition of a person. क्योंकि कई बार क्या होता है, like because it's sudden very cold weather, so people may fall may catch a cold or something else also, and they confuse it for AMS. But हमेशा वो नहीं होता है. You should keep a oximeter. अगर आपका oxygen level is properly maintained, then you just need proper rest, and you will feel comfortable by the next day.
True. I think everything is summing up to why Ladakh is this big dream destination.
Exactly.
कि जो challenges हैं और जो उसके rewards हैं, उसका पूरा juice निकल रहा है, अभी समझ में आ रहा है ना. So Yona, I have this question, ठीक है? Like when I had been to Ladakh, तो एक होता है ना कि एकदम barren landscape है, colors muted हैं, और उसके बीच में you see these beautiful, colorful flying money wheels, money flags at that point of time, and especially around monasteries. तो वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा मतलब ऐसा लगता है कि they are flying and they're kind of welcoming you into a happy, positive energy space, right? So what are those flags? What is the significance? Can you just share it with the audience?
So जो prayer flags होते हैं, we call them lungtas. In our local language, we call it tarchok. So उसके लिए our beliefs are that this is mostly totally like Buddhist centric. So we believe that कि first thing is कि if you come to Ladakh, anywhere जहाँ पे Buddhism prevail हो रहा है, तो in every household जो कि एक Buddhist household होगा, आपको उसके roof पे you will always see prayer flags. And why we put up the prayer flags is another story. So what we believe in that there's this thing called sparka. In our local language we call it. In English we can translate loosely as like your willpower. So उसके लिए हम basically वो लगाते हैं. So the thing is that you buy those prayer flags from anywhere in the market, and then you go to a monastery or go to a monk, get it blessed, and then put it up in your roof. And basically it's very mandatory कि one rule है कि जब भी आप ये prayer flags lungtas अगर आप डालोगे तो it should be in an open space. So the concept is that कि आपने उसको bless करवा लिया, you put it up in your roof, and the more it wears off with the climate, with the wind, with the rain, with the snow and everything, the more like the why you put it up, it's achieved. So basically it's about the will power कि अगर हम देखते हैं कि every culture, every beliefs have some कि ठीक है कुछ जन्म पत्री या होता कुछ भी होता है, like people read that. So वो read करके कभी किसी का निकलता है कि like your will is getting a little bit low, या फिर आपका vibes से energies बोल सकते, जैसे आपने बोला था कि वो अभी थोड़ा low हो रहा है या फिर थोड़ा dark space में जा रहे हो, anything for that. So we buy that, we put it up, and the more it wears off, the more you have positive vibes, good vibes, and like you're more, the will is more enhanced like that. So ये belief है हमारे में.
So what is the mantra on it? What are the colors? What is the significance of that?
So the basic ones आपने देखा होगा, there's written Om Mani Padme Hum. So this mantra is known as the mantra of compassion.
Okay.
So there was this very हमारे बुद्धिज्म में there's this god known as Avalokiteshvara, जिनके मैनिफेस्टेशन है दलाई लामा जी.
Okay.
So like जैसे विष्णु जी के अवतार थे राम जी, so वैसे ही दलाई लामा, all the Dalai Lamas that came before the 14th Dalai Lama, the current Dalai Lama, and all the Dalai Lamas to come next will be a manifestation or will be an avatar of Avalokiteshvara.
Okay.
And it's a embodiment of like being compassionate towards human being, every sentient being, not just humans, not just your family or friends or animals, but every sentient being in this whole entire world. So uske liye to be more compassionate towards life, towards other people. So for that, that's the whole reason that mantra is over there. So the basic is Om Mani Padme Hum, that's written over there. But if you go to the monasteries like you mentioned, वहाँ पे जो होता है, वहाँ पे अलग एक उसको पूरा extend करके वो मंत्र को लिखा होता है कि like because every word that I just said, Om Mani Padme Hum, they have a deeper meaning to it. For example, on brief, if I tell you, Om is like it purifies your ego. Ma is like purifies your passion. Na ka alag meaning hota. Padma is like the lotus flower. It's like a symbol of purity. So it's about that. कि like अब जहाँ भी जाओगे, and monasteries में especially you'll have like हमारे Bodhi script में it's written a lot, the enhancement में लिखा होता है. बाकी जो usually आपको market में मिलेंगे, that's the simple form Om Mani Padme Hum, like that.
Okay, very nice, very interesting. मतलब I तो always feel कि वहाँ पे जाके जो वो colors जब आपको दिखते हैं ना, कि otherwise it's just brown and blue skies, but वो जब वो सारे I think the elements, the colors are represented by the elements, right? तो वो जब वो colors ऐसे दिखते हैं and they're flying in the sky, or the kind of positive vibe you get out of it, that I'm very sure that's why people bring in a lot of gifts in the form of those flags back home. So, but since it's related to your culture, it's related to your religion, have you ever felt कि ऐसा कुछ है कि travelers शायद इन चीज़ों को शायद misinterpret कर जाएं on any practice as such, या वो misunderstand हो रही है या कहीं पे disrespect हो रहा है, तो is there any such thing that you think you can share?
Definitely. Speaking about lungtas only, the prayer flags only, उसको लेके एक बहुत misconception है. So what people generally do is bikers कर लो या normal travelers कर लो, they tend to buy a prayer flag and then they put it up on the bikes, they put it up on their bags, and they think that कि ठीक है लगा लिया, like किसी के लिए वो fashion statement हो सकता है, किसी के लिए वो beliefs हो सकता है, but just as I told you कि until and unless you get it blessed from a monk or from a monastery, it doesn't hold any power to it. So ये बहुत basic misconception है कि लोगों को दिखता है कि okay, we see this beautiful prayer flag and it's a symbol of purity, it's a symbol of positivity, good vibes. So people generally, and also for like especially bikers में ये belief है कि if you put up a prayer flag in front of your bike, it will protect you, because as we have already discussed, Ladakh is a very harsh terrain, and the roads are very risky over there, like very like that. So people tend to believe that, but simple है कि until and unless you get it blessed, so I don't think it will hold any kind of power to it, right? And
It's just an accessory.
It's just an
otherwise.
accessory if you just buy it like
But
that.
I think it's people buy it more like a souvenir.
Exactly, yeah.
Still, they have a belief associated with
Exactly,
it.
yeah,
They
yeah.
always get that positive vibe out of those prayer flags.
Right,
And
right,
another thing that I would like to add, if anybody you guys have like the prayer flags, so one thing is, even if it's not blessed, but it has the mantras over there, the Om Mani Padme Hum mantra, which is very sacred for people like me, like the Buddhist people, right? So for that, what generally people do it once it wears off, so people just throw it away. Like यहाँ फेंक दिया, वहाँ फेंक दिया, like anywhere they throw it away. So it's a humble request कि even if it's blessed or even if it's not blessed, you don't just throw away the prayer flags. It's like it's not a good omen to throw the flags like that. So if you want to dispose of your prayer flags, I would recommend कि you put it up on a tree. या फिर you put it up on the top of a mountain, tie it somewhere, you know, so that naturally it will get disposed
Wear
of,
off.
like wear off. Naturally वो हो जाए with any wind के वजह से, snow या anything, like you know, it should happen naturally. Not कि like dustbin में डाल दिया, ऐसी रोड चलते फेंक दिया, not like that. So that is one thing that people should, I think, practice कि like you know, not just disposing of like that. Yeah, just कि आप respectfully, you know, the more you give respect to anything, the more, like you know, blessings comes your way. We believe in that because mountain people, we believe in a lot of things. So even for that matter, we respect the mountains also. So if you respect a thing, if you respect a belief, so it will come back to you in many other forms, like the karma thing that comes here. Okay, like yeah, it will come back to
Beautiful.
you in a very good way. So you do that, and I think magic might happen. Magic exists, simple as that. Yeah, so for that.
Oh, very beautifully put. Yeah, Jan. Very nice. So, is that all, or is there anything else you feel कि शायद अगर लोग जा रहे हैं वहाँ पे तो कल्चरली कुछ और चीज़ों को भी ध्यान में रखा
I
जा
think
सकता है?
there's another thing like you know, you find prayer wheels, माने जिसको बोलते हैं. So चाहे आप मतलब उसे like there's a norm to rotate it. So you have to always make sure you are rotating it clockwise and not
Exactly.
anti-clockwise. क्योंकि कई बार लोग क्या इंस्टाग्राम के लिए शॉट लेना है, वो उल्टा मूव कर रहे हैं तो उसको भी उल्टा घुमा रहे हैं. So that's not how it should be. The right way is कि उसे clockwise ही रखो.
Exactly. And that is very true. This is also a belief about visiting monasteries. कि अगर आप किसी monastery को visit करो तो you always start clockwise. Like एक परिक्रमा जैसे हम बोलते हैं, you always go clockwise, you visit everything and then you come back to where you started. It's like that. And one very interesting thing about monasteries and Ladakh is that in every other religious places that you go, be it church, be it a mosque, be it a temple, it's a rule, it's a mandatory cultural thing. We can say that you'll cover your head. हम सर हमेशा ढकोगे आप, you know, you'll be it boys or girls apart from the gender. So you'll always cover your head, you'll bow down to your almighty, your deity and everything. But it's different with Ladakh. Ladakh mein in Buddhism we believe that if you're in front of the almighty, if you're in front of your God, you should be as you are. So we tend to remove it. अगर हमने टोपी भी पहना होगा, बीट -30, बीट -40, just beat summers also. So whenever we are visiting a monastery, we always tend to remove our caps. आप कैप खोल के या दुपट्टा लगाया, चुन्नी, anything that you wear, maybe a baklava or anything that you wear. So we tend to remove it, and we remove, and then you pay homage to the deities and like that. And then that's one rule that people I think should understand कि if you're visiting a place, थोड़ा आप कल्चर को भी जानो, you know, be a part of that culture even for a momentary period of time. It gives you peace and it gives you a sense of belongingness to that very place that you are in. So this thing people can practice.
I think that experience of traveling also gets better.
Exactly.
Once you get to know about the place and the people, and I think Ladakh, for that matter, has like a very vast cultural, history. And शायद एक assumption ये भी है कि अभी जैसे आप किसी भी पॉप कल्चर के किसी भी एलिमेंट से पॉपुलराइज हो सकता है कि दिस इज अ पर्टिकुलर कल्चर ऑफ दिस प्लेस, बट आई एम वेरी श्योर कि जितना बड़ा ये लैंड है ना, सो उतना ही वास्ट culture भी है. So what is like, can you throw some light on that?
Yes. So Ladakh, even though area-wise we have a lot of area, but population-wise we have few lakhs only. But within that few lakhs, and because we are a tribal area, so people don't usually know this, that we have 8 different tribes in that small population. Not speaking on area basis, but population-wise, we have 8 different tribes. And one very interesting thing is like every tribe, like if you go to any tribe, has their own different set of music, have their own different set of costumes that they wear, traditional dresses. it differs a lot, and even a little bit of a variation comes in the language.
Okay.
So Chirag sir was mentioning Changthang Valley to the eastern part. अगर आप उस side travel करोगे तो it's totally different over there. Those people, those tribal people are known as the Changpas. उनका एक अपना tribe है. They are the nomadic people. So if you go over there, they have the patterns on their traditional dresses very different. The music is very upbeat, you know, like very hyping up music like that. And if you move towards the Turtuk village, वहाँ पे हम आपको एक और you'll see a different tribe, which is the Balti tribe. Balti tribe as in the Baltistani tribe. So they have a different set of colors, very colorful, very diverse. Language में भी difference आएगा आपकी. In fact, for that sake, cuisine में भी difference आ जाता है. Like your cuisine is also different. Your little bit beliefs also change. कि like जो normal lifestyle beliefs apart from religion also, like people wise, whatever the beliefs are, that also changes a lot with every tribe that you go and meet. So like this one thing that people can always go and explore different tribes of Ladakh.
Wow.
Very interesting thing to explore. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they can add something like maybe club it up with some festival or something. So I
Yes.
think that would like be the
Definitely.
cherry on the cake.
Yes.
If people can plan around that, right? And that you were talking about different costumes and everything. I see you wearing a very beautiful jacket. So can you just tell what is this about? I think it's a very nice representation of your culture.
Yes. And this is what we call this is tuttungs.
Okay.
So this is like a top or a blazer that we can go on. So this can be worn by both the genders. This is a very gender neutral, piece of clothing. So the dress that we have, local traditional dress, we call it kos or goncha. आप उसके ऊपर भी ये डाल सकते हो. And me being a little bit of with a little bit of modern touch, so I'm wearing it with a really very modern, like I'm trying to create a fusion here with this costume. And the material here this is the most famous material we have in Ladakh. So अब किसी भी marriage festival आप attend करोगे, कुछ भी करो, people tend to wear this kind of इस कपड़े में, like इसको हम कोशन बोलते हैं. So with this kind of print and little bit like glamorous kind of thing. Otherwise, the usually is like very simple costume, basic one color का आपका जो everyday आपका जो traditional attire होता है, that is very basic. But then marriage festival, anyways, you're going to a monastery or anything, so you put up little bit, glam to it, and yeah.
Oh, no, you're looking very pretty.
Thank you.
Wait, we're not done here. Ladakh has so much magic about it, and we really don't want to gatekeep anything from you. So we've divided this episode into 2 parts. This was part 1. Stay tuned for part 2, where we dive into the best places to spot Milky Way, the evolving music culture of Ladakh, everyone's favorite Ladakhi cuisine, and some more stories that will surprise you. See you in the next part. Meanwhile, don't forget to drop your thoughts about this episode in the comments.